All right, you guys. Like, share, and subscribe as y'all tap on in. Salute to everybody showing love to the channel, man. Ticket TV live stream. Shouts out to the whole LDBC. Lions Den basketball community. Salute to A-Weapon, C-Rep Midlife Music, man. Let's get right into this video. And I try to tell everybody, but little old me, they don't want to listen to little old me. They think I'm just come on here just saying anything on YouTube, man. And, you know, the hate be real, bro. The hate be real, man. But it is what it is, man. Because it's so much love out here that, the little bit of love gonna overshadow all that damn hate. You understand what I'm saying? And remember I told you guys that the feds is watching. Everybody try to tell me, hey man, ain't nothing gonna happen to you, man. I'm telling you, man. You just talking, man. And you didn't know your role and shut your mouth. Because this morning, Kawhi Leonard, as they're getting ready to go into training camp, um, he is going to have to answer these questions. If not, which he's not going to do, he's going to duck it, um, which is going to be hilarious because they got more evidence out today. And now, according to the reports, they've got Kawhi Leonard's agent. This is real bad. His agent is now being implicated in this investigation with Pablo Torre. And apparently, according to the reports, the feds have closed in. Didn't I tell you guys? But y'all didn't want to listen to me. And just everybody on YouTube just want to go against what I said. Because these niggas are a bunch of pure haters on y'all. They come in the comment section just running your mouth. Y'all want to ignore this situation. You thought it was going to creep and go away, didn't you? Didn't I tell y'all? Oh, yeah. Well, we going to stir fry today, man. It's over for this dude, man. You understand? This dude's a complete fraud, bro. And I don't have no respect for this dude. I told y'all this. His name should forever be put in NBA shit stain. And I mean that. This guy is a fraud. That's just how I feel about him. And so I don't know why the NBA is allowing, I guess the NBA trying to figure out, you know what I'm saying, how they gonna break the bad news to the world. But the NBA better do something before the feds uh, come sweep all these bums up. Now let's get into it because good old Pablo, he dropped part 5 today, and it's a wrap, man. Bro, let me tell y'all something. All y'all think that he gonna get away, and the owner Steve Ballhead and them gonna get away, and go tell Mark Cuban, you know what I'm saying, to bring his Count Dracula looking ass over here too. He need to come get some too. Mark Cuban, you come get some too. You don't all that talking, Mark Cuban. Come get some too, Playboy, because we looking at your deals with Dirk. But let's get into this, man, because this thing got too real, y'all. It got too real. They call them too raw, but this thing got too real. You understand what I'm saying? Now let's get right into this, y'all. So salute everybody. Y'all strap on in. And I told these bums, Pastor, what's going on, man? Now, Pastor, I know you've been in the channel listening. I told these bums that the feds, this was a serious situation and the feds was involved. And these clowns didn't want to listen. They all set up here, ain't nothing's going to happen, man. Are you guys idiots? You're dealing with stuff like money laundering, wire fraud, all this type of stuff with that company aspiration. The hell you think the feds ain't going to look at everything that's connected to this? And now they got Kawhi Leonard's agent implicated as well. And I told these bums, now let's get into it, man. You dudes is clowns, man. And like I said, y'all can come keep trying to ignore this stuff and talk about one dude every single day in LeBron James. Bro, let me tell you something. This dude right here, I have zero respect for this guy right here, man. This dude has to be the laziest dude in NBA history, bro. And I told you, we come up in an era, and I heard Pastor over there stir frying them niggas over there on BJ channel the other week. I heard him over there. Y'all all tried to gang up on the man and stuff like that when he was in there telling you niggas the truth and stir fried every last one of y'all. I heard all of you. I heard you. I forget the boy's name. They be coming in here, the fake ass Phoenix Suns fan. I heard you over there running your mouth. Y'all niggas gonna sit down and shut the hell up, man. Hey BJ, and I hope y'all new video when you whatever you go live and you make a new video, I hope it's for how y'all bums gonna recover over there. Cause like I told y'all before, man, yeah, Tyson over there running his mouth. He don't know a damn thing about basketball. He's sitting over there, them niggas all over there trying to overtalk past it, like, oh, he don't know what he talking about. Hey, come on, man, come on, man. And niggas sitting over there telling them niggas in layman terms what the hell is going on. This dude is a lazy dude, bro. Who wants it? This dude wanted all this stuff for nothing. And now, in a new report that just came out this morning, you know they dropped that shit right because he going to training camp. They dropped this shit on his head too. Everybody thought they was gonna fade away. They was gonna forget. Nah, we just wait until training camp started to drop this on his bum head. Right? This is the laziest dude. I told y'all we grew up in an era where dudes ran to playing. Dudes was, if you didn't have something that was gonna sit your ass down, for real, man, cats wanted to play. We in an era now where these cats don't want to play no more, and it's sad. They want all the money, all the benefits, all the glorification, all that stuff. And even them guys that came before them, they paved the way and paid a price. They paid a price, and y'all didn't want to hear this. And everybody want to talk about something. Bones want to try and bring down everybody else. Everybody's doing it. No, they ain't. Because if everybody was doing it, the Lakers would have did it, nigga. They didn't. They shut this bum ass nigga down. The Raptors won a championship with this man and refused to do it. So don't y'all try to come in here and bring down everybody else with this bum. Not happening. Yeah, do you might have one or two other teams that might try some dumb shit like this? Yeah, you might have a big dummy out here. You have a situation that looks suspect over there in New York, right? But for people to say, I think everybody's doing, nah, bullshit. Wait, that's not working. That's not working. That's not working. Now let's get into it. That's not working. Over the last few weeks.
And so I just got to jump in here to interrupt Mr. El Hassan for a second to acknowledge that, yes, there have been a lot of findings over these last few weeks. And in this episode, part 5 of our investigation, we're going to get into new details about the $48 million that Kawhi Leonard was supposed to get from Aspiration and the role of his personal camp in that deal, as well as new details about the deepening connection between Steve Ballmer and the co-founder of Aspiration, all of which will be germane to the NBA's investigation.
See, the connection between Steve Ballmer and the co-founder of Aspiration, bro. A lot of these people going to prison, and y'all niggas keep talking about some, man, them niggas too rich. Man, bro, y'all know how many rich people in prison right now? You need to go look at Sam Bankman-Fried, the FTX scandal. They had FTX on the NBA basketball course. That dude is in prison right now. He's doing 25 years. What the hell? And he's rich. Oh, man. You guys, they're called white-collar crimes, man. You got rich people going to prison all the time. This is how they get them. On these big type of white-collar crimes. Fraud, scam, all this other stuff. What the hell is wrong with these people? And they talking about the NBA owners want to put it all on or want to give more blame. No, they all getting cooked. Kawhi, his dusty ass uncle, his dumb ass agent that they don't link him involved. He don't ruin his entire career. Steve Ballhead and that damn fool sitting beside him that came out running his mouth like motor mouth. Mark Cuban, because now we're going to look at your ass with the Dirk Nowitzki shit. Let's keep going. Bum ass niggas coming here running their mouth, man.
But the other big reason we're doing this here, because we actually want to acknowledge our detractors. And in doing so, we want to simplify the story. The story of what our reporting suggests is the largest salary cap circumvention scheme in sports history. A deeply elaborate and complicated effort to bend a cardinal rule that was designed to regulate the unfair extra spending of billionaires.
Man, look how he going right at them dudes. And you know what, Pastor? All them niggas on YouTube running their mouth. And I'm going to tell them niggas something. Them bum ass niggas Pablo ain't got no lawsuit. Why they ain't win and sue Pablo? The first thing, let me tell you something. when you dealing with billionaires and dudes like this, if Pablo was capping, Pablo ain't out here saying allegedly or nothing. That nigga out here saying they did that shit. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. If Pablo was capping, he'd have been got a cease and desist and a lawsuit. If you think Pablo was, see, this is how stupid these dudes is on YouTube. If Pablo was capping, you dealing with billionaires. They would have been sent his, they would have had lawyers all over his helmet. They'd have been sent that nigga. But here's the problem. The Fed's involved too. This ain't a situation where they could just shut it up because you've already got one of the main characters in Aspirations that have taken a plea deal and admitted guilt. He've already did and spoke with the feds. He've already gave statements and they've already brought up Steve Ballmer's name. That's why I told you, bums. This shit is real. Y'all think it's a game. The NBA could be in real trouble if you got a team that's linked to illegal breaking Fed rules. I'm telling you this. This could really break. And if Adam Silver turned the blind eye to this shit, his ass on the hook too. Sitting up there talking about he ain't know. And then when they cooked his ass, he came back and changed his story. He got to go. I told you. All these bums got to get up out of here, bro. They have ruined and destroyed the game. This is the reason why we've called them the strippers for years. Because all they keep doing is getting stripped down in front of the world. And that's what they do. They will strip themselves down. And we've told y'all that, but y'all didn't want to listen. Y'all keep wanting to ride with these bums and keep wanting to talk about somebody else hating and this, that, and the third. Nah, these dudes are perennial jackasses. They're cheaters. They're dudes who don't want to do it the right way. And they're dudes who, like I said before, you got these new dudes in this new era. They want everything. They want everything for nothing. I'm telling you, bro. They don't even want to work for it. They don't even want to work for it.
And that's a rule, by the way, that too rarely exists otherwise in American life. And yet I want to make the case here that this was also a very stupidly straightforward operation in some key elemental ways, as a current NBA head coach reached out to tell me this week. Quote, "This should be embarrassing for the league."
This is a current NBA head coach. Now, see, all them bums over there on BJ Channel was running a rabbit ass mouth when Pastor was stir frying them niggas. Him and Herm was over there stir frying them niggas. And NBA head coach. Now, this is why I told y'all. And Two Raw been doing videos talking about this too with Count Dracula, got daggone Adam Silver. This is why we said what we said. You got an NBA head coach said, and I quote, "This should be embarrassing for the league. I know teams do little side deals, but what happened here is so obvious. This is crazy. This is crazy work. The biggest scandal in sports, not NBA, sports history with this weak-knee bum. And now the feds don't close in. Oh, the feds don't close in. And this is the part that killed me before we go on, y'all. The part that hurt me the most with these bums on YouTube is that these will be everyday working people. I'm talking about they going to work every day working their ass off, right? They can't even do it. I want y'all to think about this. Can't no American, can't no person in the world pretty much miss 58% of your time at work and still have a job. Guarantee money. And you got niggas out here capping for that when they can't even do that. These niggas can't even miss 10%. If you even miss 10% of your time at work, you're going to get fired. You're going to get fired. But y'all in here capping for this weak-knee nigga who played 42% of the games since he been with the Clippers, but wanted all his money. He wanted all his money and the extra money. And the sad part is they got the date lined up to where when a dude wasn't getting that extra money, played 26% of the games. When he did, he played over 80%. Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
I I know teams do little side deals, but what happened here is so obvious. End quote.
Now, it is. He's right. He's right. He's right. This nigga uncle coming here asking for Lear jets and all kind of shit, man. Y'all niggas ought to be embarrassed of yourselves, but I know y'all not. I know y'all not, because like I said, a lot of these niggas jockstrap, booty hole sniffing. Period. But now it's gonna get exposed. And I'm waiting on media day for these bums. I'm waiting. And I'm glad he dropped this today. Ain't the strippers media day today? Ain't the strippers media day today, y'all? Ain't the strippers media day today? Don't the strippers got media day today? They got media day today, right, y'all? The strippers, the LA strippers, don't they got media day? Yeah. I guarantee y'all Kawhi and all them bums duck this shit. And that's the sad part. They're gonna duck all this shit. Watch. They're gonna, oh no, we can't answer. What you mean you can't answer, nigga? It's the biggest scandal going on in America. In sports. This is the biggest sports scandal going on in America. And you can't answer? Nah. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to answer. Like and hold on, I'm gonna tell y'all why they ain't gonna answer. First of all, because they all capping. Hold on. First of all, because they all capping. And second of all, the feds involved. And I've been told you niggas. And y'all gonna find out today. Like Penny the Hardaway, nigga.
From that head coach. It sounds like the head coach would like a pound of flesh, because how Adam Silver adjudicates this matter has reverberations that go far beyond what happens to the Clippers. It is essentially the head on the spike you put outside the city gates of King's Landing to let everybody know, don't try that around here. Well, it is almost as if cap circumvention as a concept itself is on trial. That is the test in front of the commissioner. If you know, I've done a lot of reading. Are you Southern? I'm detecting a Southern accent. It will emerge, Mr. Torre, from time to time as I turn into my lawyerly self. You're opening a laptop now. I am opening a laptop so I can reference Article 13 of the Collective Bargaining Agreement, aptly named Circumvention. Two key phrases: compensation from a sponsor, business partner, or third party substantially in excess of the fair market value of any services to be rendered by the player for such sponsor, business partner, or third party. And then the other part: violation of the sections named above may be proven by direct or circumstantial evidence, including but not limited to evidence that a player contract or any term or provision thereof cannot rationally be explained. As Adam Silver gets up and speaks to the media and makes it seem like, well, it's shades of gray and we don't want to infringe upon corporate sponsors. And, you know, I've heard a lot of things have come to me, and then when we investigate, it turns out it was nothing at all.
I think as a matter of fundamental fairness, I would be reluctant to act if there was sort of a mere appearance of impropriety. I think that the goal of a full investigation is to find out if there really was impropriety. Because
he's making excuses
public-facing sport,
where there are two pieces of literature in there that are very clear. I dare say that this is what that head coach was talking about. That this is what lots of GMs that I've talked to and owners, by the way, have been referencing, is just this very basic premise of the rule of NBA law, which is, again, not real law, but is, in fact, a rule. And all of this alleged rule breaking, Mr. Elhassan, begins with Aspiration co-founder Joe Sandberg and his fellow co-founder and CEO, Andre Cherny, and how they, according to the documentation, signed Kawhi Leonard to a secret $48 million deal that nobody ever announced or mentioned in public, in which Kawhi contractually did not legally have.
Yeah, let me stir fry this person before we even move forward. Foxy, that's cap. Uncle Dennis been in Kawhi's life since he came in the league. You keep talking about some till his greedy uncle got involved. His greedy uncle been in there since he came in the league with the Spurs. Why do you think the situation with the Spurs fell apart? Cut the cap. So his capping ass, greedy ass uncle been in there doing this sleaze bag shit for the longest. I'm sorry. He's scum, point blank period. And Kawhi Leonard is responsible. Why? Because he's the player. He's responsible for anything around him. He can say, shut it down and say, nah, we ain't doing that. Kawhi Leonard can shut it down. See, and these bums will make excuses for Kawhi Leonard. They'll act like this nigga's a 3-year-old and can't make his own decisions. That's the part I don't like about these capping ass Negroes. They'll sit up here and make excuses for Kawhi and try to put it on Uncle Dennis. Uncle Dennis, Uncle Dennis. Man, Kawhi Leonard's a grown-ass man. He control his own NBA career. If somebody around, that nigga ain't 3 years old, well, he can't turn around and see if somebody hurting his career. Don't nobody want to hear that cap. That's cap. That's an excuse. It's Kawhi Leonard. And I'm going to tell you what I believe. I believe it's Kawhi Leonard talking through that nigga. That's what I believe. Telling him what to say. So I ain't making no excuses for that bum. Y'all keep coming here all the time making excuses for a weak knee nigga. I'm not making no excuses for this dude. And I'm starting to doubt that his knees are weak. Because guess what? Every time a new doctor come around from the NBA, they say he good. It's only his doctors that say he ain't. Fuck out of here.
To do a single thing, and as far as I can tell, and as exactly 0 people have publicly disputed, did not actually go on to do a single thing. Except, Mr. Alhassan, there was the one thing that Kawhi Leonard was obligated to do, according to the covenant of his contract, to secure those $48 million. What was it?
Mr. Leonard had to keep playing as a Los Angeles Clipper.
If you will now open up your folder and just reread for us another bit of the legal literature here, Section 2.10b, Clause 2 of Kawhi's endorsement agreement, signed in the middle of the 2020.
Atlanta, that's a fact. The Clippers doctors can't touch him. You know why the Clippers doctors can't touch that nigga? I want you to really think about that. Who in the NBA can tell a team's doctors that you employed by, they cutting your check, but you telling them, your doctors can't touch me. Then they saying this nigga putting the contract, the team can't never talk about his injury. Man, nigga, who the fuck, nigga? I swear to God. I swear to God. But would you want a team to touch your body if ain't nothing wrong with you, nigga? I mean, the Spurs did say that nigga was completely cleared to play. And he still wanted to sit his ass down. The Spurs doctor said that nigga was 100% cleared to play. Right? So imagine if I can have my own. Imagine if I played in a league. I'm getting paid from a team, and they doctors can't touch me. Now, I don't want your trainers touching me. I'm only going to have my trainers. It's going to be whatever my trainers say. So if my trainers say I ain't right, man, I ain't right, nigga. I don't. Well, what about our trainers? We're paying you now. I don't care about your trainers. Think about that shit now. It's a reason why you don't want these other people. Because, see, what's going to happen is a conflict of interest once the team doctors start clearing your ass to play. And saying, man, this guy can play, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. And y'all praise this nigga. And y'all niggas come on YouTube every day talking that shit about LeBron James, 155,000 videos. But we don't keep the same energy for a nigga who's worse.
21-22 NBA season with this now clearly fraudulent treat.
You said, do I think Kawhi pretends like he's slow? No, he don't pretend. Kawhi Leonard's just quiet because people by nature don't like cooking quiet people. This is the reason why, guys have flown under the radar that don't really talk that much. That you know what I'm saying, that are get in trouble or underachieve. If you're not really a talkative person, or you're not really out there, like people try and give you a pass. Man, get this nigga no pass, man. Bro, let me tell you how much of a weak weasel this nigga is. This weak weasel ass nigga went to Team USA. And now I want y'all to think about this. This whole ass nigga he's trying to cherry pick his resume, right? So let me go ahead and sneak on Team USA and get me an Olympic gold medal on here too. So when I finish my career, my resume looks sweet, right? Part-time ass nigga. But what he did was this sleazebag went to Team USA and didn't even tell the team, didn't tell nobody that he had a secret knee procedure months before. Team USA sent his monkey ass home, and they were so surprised and so upset when they found out that this man went and had a knee procedure that summer. Remember, he only played 2 games in the playoffs, copped out, had a secret knee procedure nobody knew about, and then said, "Yeah, I'm gonna show up and play with Team USA." Are you crazy, nigga? Are you crazy? But y'all cool with that shit. Ain't nobody got no smoke. LeBron James do that shit, man. Everybody ain't up in arms, man. But I told y'all, man. That's why I don't respect no nigga. Period, bro.
Planting brokerage company thing.
Company shall have the right to terminate if Leonard is no longer an employee of the team for any reason.
Which is to say that this no-show deal in which Kawhi would do nothing and in fact still get paid more than New Balance, his sneaker sponsor, paid him. And also, by the way, more than 4 times what Aspiration paid Drake and Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert Downey Jr. and the rest of its celebrity A-list roster combined. This deal is a deal that I believe cannot, quote, rationally be explained, does not represent fair market value according to the language of the CBA, which you read for us. It feels like it's enough to punish the Clippers, frankly, right now. But the rationale from the Clippers is what I want to turn my focus to today, because it continues to be that Kawhi's deal with Aspiration was made completely and totally independently of Steve Ballmer's $50 million personal investment in Aspiration, as well as Aspiration's $300+ million, quote, founding sponsorship with the Clippers, which, of course, Mr. Balmer himself recently explained away as, quote, a whole bunch of complicated stuff.
Through that, we had many relationships with the company, sponsor, activation was through carbon credits, a whole bunch of complicated stuff. But the important I love how he says carbon credits with great exaggerated air quotes. Carbon credits, whatever that crazy shit is.
Just that you spent in the end, according to our...
Yeah, and this is the type of shit that people like that do. And I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. He broke the law. I hope the feds go lock his ass up. Straight up. I hope they go get his goddamn man, fake ass goddamn low budget George Carl looking motherfucker. I hope they go get his ass. Period.
Reporting tens of millions of dollars on prepaid in ways that we have established in previous episodes. But the point here, Mr. Alhassan, is that much of what I've been doing for the last month now has been an attempt to just anticipate and even reconcile the possible responses from both my critics, the people who poke holes in my reporting, as well as the richest owner in sports himself. I do want people to steel man, as they say, steel man opposite of straw man. Steel man the critiques here. And so I've heard from Mavericks minority owner Mark Cuban. I've heard from former Aspiration CEO Andre Cherny. And I've heard from a growing Rolodex of NBA sources who do request anonymity because in many cases, they personally worked with Steve Ballmer and Kawhi Leonard and Lawrence Frank. So just in your view, Mr. Alhassan,
Yes.
what is the best argument that you've heard, you can imagine, for why Aspiration would want to do this deal in the way that Steve Ballmer has described it, which is to say, without Steve Ballmer or anyone from the Clippers knowing or influencing the deal in question?
Think about what I just said to y'all. And I to the brother in the comment section, yes, I seen what you said. Who in the hell is paying Kawhi Leonard more money than Drake and all them other people combined? Man, let's cut this capping ass shit out, man. And I agree with what's his name said. Why ain't these people already been why haven't these people already been punished? I hope the NBA gets all the evidence. I hope they find new shit on them niggas through them lawyers. And I hope anything these niggas do, I hope they bring it all together in the end and smoke these dudes. Biggest scandal in sports history. And mofos afraid to talk about niggas out here walking on eggshells. Nigga done sold they self out to a certain person. Kawhi. And it's weak knee. I ain't gonna call him weak knee, because once again, I don't even think the nigga been hurt. I'm starting to doubt that this nigga ever been hurt. What nigga y'all know is supposed to have degenerative knees and keep getting back in the game, yamming on niggas? The nigga come in the game, nigga, I'm talking about nigga just getting buckets, like with no knee braces on, nothing. Think about this. Kawhi Leonard come back in the game. Whenever he come back from it, this nigga don't have no knee brace, no nothing. He's supposed to have weak knees. And this nigga don't, bro. Now go look at Brandon Roy when that nigga started to have degenerative knees. That was a real degenerative knee situation. This dude right here, man, like I said, man.
The best explanation I've received, Mr. Torre, was that this was a form of inception,
of planting the seed in the brain of Steve Ballmer that these are good guys to keep around because they take care of me and my people, even if I'm not aware directly of how they are being taken care of. So if we're paying Kawhi Leonard and Kawhi Leonard remains a Clipper and we're excited about our partnership with the Clippers, Steve Ballmer will continue to funnel money into our endeavor. That is the explanation that I've heard that I believe comes closest to sanity. Comes closest. Does not quite arrive, though. So, Andre Cherny, the Aspiration CEO who signed the deal, had also issued, in fairness to this argument, a statement on Twitter in which he claimed, quote, "In the months of discussion among our executives before signing the sponsorship, I don't remember conversations about the NBA salary cap," end quote. And if we're going to be as, what's the word, not, it's another word for naive. It's like a girl's name, man. What? Oh, man. Be listen. Pollyannic? Pollyanna-ish. Okay. If we were to be as Pollyannish as the Clippers want us to be. Nailed it. The Dennis Wong, Steve Ballmer's partner, as well invest money. So we just keep the money invested in our company because they like us, because we keep their star player happy. Right, except you don't know that they're keeping your star player happy. Well, they know he's happy. But they don't know who to give credit to for that. Okay, it's falling apart. You see why it's hard to be Pollyannish in this case? But this is the thing that I'm like really just like circling.
They over here stir frying this dude. They having fun with Kawhi. But let's get to the main parts, y'all. We got to get to the real main parts right here because this is serious what's going on today. And I'm talking about the latest part of this investigation have discovered.
This 141. That gets us to $49 million. A $49 million deficit that the Clippers could not make up on the books, according to the CBA, which then brings back to mind, I dare say, the $48 million deal, negotiations for which Aspiration CEO totally does not remember having to do anything with the NBA salary cap and its collective bargaining agreement and the regulations mandated therein. I had the great privilege on my own show called Basketball Illuminati to interview the one and only Bruce Arthur of the Toronto Star. Yes. And he told us in great detail the Toronto version of the Mr. Uncle Dennis Robertson pitch, which started with things that were doable and quickly escalated to a place of great cap circumvention peril. Well, I want to get...
So Kawhi team been doing this shit, trying to cheat the system. But y'all niggas are talking about LeBron James. And again, we can say whatever we want to say about LeBron James and what we think. There has been no evidence to this day that LeBron James has failed a drug test. But people will continue to come out and make videos. They continue to say this dude is on something and all this other stuff. Why? Because they speculate. But we got straight up evidence where people who were there are saying that Kawhi Leonard and his capping ass uncle tried to cheat the game. Literally tried to cheat the game to circumvent the cap. Not just get this nigga paid off the books, but cheat the game to circumvent the cap. Why would you do that, y'all? You know why you would do that? So you can get your other boys money to come in there and play with you and get you the best teams. So them niggas can carry you through the season, like what happened over in Toronto. And then after they carry you through the season, you come up and show up in the playoffs like you got daggone Batman and you got daggone da-da. And then you get a championship in the end and everybody praise you. You're a part-time worker, nigga. Period. And it's going to get exposed today.
To the two prongs of what Bruce Arthur for the Toronto Star has reported that Mr. Uncle Dennis Robertson was requesting. Because the question that I have for basketball reporters to just fundamentally ask on Media Day, and for also the high-powered lawyers to investigate on behalf of the NBA League office, would be simple. It is, did Steve Ballmer and Lawrence Frank really have zero idea about this $48 million deal that the founding sponsor struck with the most important employee in their organization? I've been kicking around that very question. Well, Mr. Alhassan, that's why we're doing a part 5. Oh my God. And drop the intro music there. That's the cold open.
Here we go, y'all. So let's get to it right now. We get ready to get into it. And y'all finna see how the feds close in on this bum. And it's about to be over with for this clown. Like I said before, hopefully after these videos drop and today they go to camp, everybody's gonna be embarrassed. And everybody gonna start opening their eyes to this weak weasel.
As we try to understand who else was in the room, what else is happening. Because the company Aspiration, right? They at some point surpassed a $2 billion valuation. And part of the whole logic here is that Aspiration wants to do this because it's good for the business of Aspiration. Kawhi Leonard is happy. Kawhi Leonard stays a Clipper according to the best steelman theory that you've offered. Therefore, Aspiration's business benefits. And so the thing that I want to interrogate here in this allegedly independently conceived relationship is, what did the other executives at Aspiration think about what this would do to the business of Aspiration? And so, Mr. Al-Hassan, please flip over the next piece of paper in your folder, because this is a screenshot of a text exchange between two senior Aspiration executives from December 21, 2021, that I have now confirmed to be authentic. And so I want you to be the sender on the right side of the screenshot. I will be the respondent. And the one note here before we do the table read is that the chief financial officer of Aspiration, who chose to leave the company by September 2022, by the way, is a man named Roger Avanesian. And also, ASIS, which will come up in this exchange, stands for Aspiration Sustainable Impact Services. In other words, the complicated bunch of stuff having to do with carbon credits that Mr. Ballmer was alluding to earlier. That was the focus of our last episode in this series. So,
Roger and I are trying to talk Joe and Andre out of a $48 million deal with Clippers player Kawhi Leonard. It's regional, male, niche, redundant to the Clippers, had no ASIS impact, and is a huge expense with no clear ROI.
Return on investment.
that's a horrible idea.
They got the text messages, y'all. They got text messages. And Steve Ballmer and them ain't going to be able to cover this up. The feds already got all this shit. You better believe the feds got. I told y'all niggas don't think the feds is coming, fool. You dudes is idiots. All of you mofos on YouTube is idiots. This motherfucker might end up in prison for the rest of his goddamn going. I'm talking about Kawhi Leonard and them. Him and Steve Ballhead. They may be facing major prison time in this, the Fed time. And y'all keep talking about, oh, man, you guys are stuck on stupid. This shit is real. They got text messages they showing now about this shit. And you ain't talking about no penny any dollar. You talking about $48 million? But I know y'all gonna keep denying this shit. Like I said before, it's a bunch of capping ass niggas running around here. And when they put that bald head dude, and if they put Kawhi in cuffs, I'm gonna sit back here and laugh my ass off. Because what would the ultimate justice be for a capping ass cheapskate who wanted everything and didn't want to do nothing for it?
Yeah, fuck. They are love drunk with these celebs.
Plus, Kawhi's dull.
They say Kawhi is dull. Look at this. The two people running the shit on the outside is saying, man, Kawhi is, man, this dude is trash. Why would you give him that money? Once again, they stir frying this bum. Let me rewind that part again. This is the people that's on the side. When they was talking about doing this deal with Kawhi, they said, why are we paying Kawhi? He's dull. That dude's trash. It's a waste of money. You ain't get no return on no investment investing in this bum and this weak weasel. I told y'all that. But y'all didn't want to listen. And they got some text messages that have been authenticated. How they gonna get around these text messages? You think the feds ain't seen these text messages? You think Pablo got text messages, but the feds ain't got them? When that indictment hit, it's gonna feel different.
Yeah, fuck. They are love drunk with these celebs.
Plus, Kawhi's dull.
Yeah, we will go under spending money like that. Fast.
And Steph Curry is at least charismatic if you want an NBA star.
Steph Curry is at least charismatic if you want an NBA star. Steph Curry's name though came up in their conversation. Like, shit, if we're gonna do something, we're gonna sign Steph Curry. I told y'all this. They said Steph Curry is at least charismatic. This weak weasel right here is a nobody. I try to tell y'all, hey, bums ain't want to listen to me with that dusty ass, fake ass, goofy ass nigga.
It's insane.
Which is a good point, by the way, as raised by that varyingly golden age of radio voice that was reading those texts.
Thank you, Mr. Torre.
It's over for them bums, man. But wait, y'all, it's more. It's more stuff. Not just the text messages. It's more, y'all. Hey, we all said the comment section. Yeah, he a weak weasel. Period. Let's get back to it.
Aspiration's chief marketing officer literally did not know who Kawhi Leonard was. $48 million in a marketing deal, and everyone's like, "Can we get Steph? Why are we getting the dull guy?"
The sentence that I really think hits home as we explore how could this be positive for aspiration is it's referring to a $48 million deal with Kawhi Leonard, regional, male, niche, redundant to the Clippers, had no ACES impact. Meaning we are investing in someone who does not reverberate much outside of Southern California, does not cross over to different demographics other than, I'm presuming, males age 18 to 55, even within Southern California, does not resonate beyond Clippers fandom.
Well, I'll just remind you, this text is sent December 2021. What was the status of Kawhi Leonard at that time in the 21-22 NBA season?
Man, Weezy was hurt.
Under contract and injured.
He wasn't playing.
Yes.
So the whole question of we need to boost the value of this company by getting this guy on the team, the dude wasn't playing.
Ruptured ACL, missed the entirety of the season. Mind you, this was...
Right. And that fool, that Weasel missed the entire season and wanted that money, y'all. This dude's a weak weasel, bro. I try to tell y'all this. All this shit get exposed in front of the world. And once again, Muai ticket was right. Told y'all. So I called him Kawhi years ago. For everybody was saying, I call this nigga Kawhi because I knew he was a lie. And everybody sit up there, tried to go against me, talk down, say I was hating. Now all them niggas gonna have to, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna have to rest in piss with this nigga.
Months after signing a lucrative extension.
So the two prongs bring us now to a text message I introduced to the public record in our last episode. It's a text message that was sent by a number associated with Kawhi's uncle, Mr. Uncle Dennis Robertson, his designated representative on the $28 million endorsement deal. And it was sent to Aspiration co-founder Joe Sandberg in February 2022. Mr. Uncle Dennis Robertson and lawyers for Joe Sandberg, for the record, have not replied to our detailed questions, including about this text. But Mr. Alhassan, could you please just read what that text message said?
Good morning, Joe. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Just a heads up, things are still dragging. Mike has the contact for about 14 days now. Haven't heard back. Thanks. Just keeping you informed.
And so you did say contact. It is contact. I believe it is meant to be contract, as I have also validated in my reporting. This was about, in fact, the $20 million equity offer, the second prong of the deal that Kawhi Leonard...
Greedy son of bitches. Greedy son of a bitches, bro. Greedy motherfuckers. This is about another $20 million equity deal they brokered with these people. Boy, they some greedy mofos, man.
Wanted from the Raptors that we are now reporting he was seeking from the Clippers as well. And the Mike, by the way, that Mr. Uncle Dennis Robertson was referring to is a guy named Mike Shuckero, who was Aspiration's chief legal officer. But the other thing I just need everybody to understand about the deal that Mr. Uncle Dennis Robertson was apparently texting about, the second prong, this is new, okay? According to sources directly familiar with the $20 million equity deal Kawhi was granted, this deal, in which he would be paid $5 million a year over 4 years, had something called a put option on it. Mr. Alhassan, do you know what a put option is?
I know it very well, but in case I hadn't done my research, please explain to the people what a put option is.
I think I have someone who could help us out on that. So source number one, if you could help me out as a former member of Aspiration's finance department, what is a put option?
To oversimplify, a put option is a fixed price at which a buyer is able to sell their stock in a company. So say they bought a put option at $5 and that stock essentially drops to $1. They have the right, but they're not obligated to sell that stock at the higher price, which is $5. And they have that put for a certain length of time.
So let's put it in more concrete, hypothetical terms. Let's say Kawhi Leonard acquires $20 million in equity from Joe Sandberg. And Joe Sandberg puts a put option at $20 million on that $20 million in equity Kawhi Leonard has just acquired from him. In other words, if Kawhi Leonard exercises that put option, he is guaranteed to get $20 million.
Yes, that's how that would work.
It is assuring Kawhi Leonard that no matter what, even if aspiration goes into the shitter, you're getting $20 million guaranteed by Joe Sandberg.
Correct.
Bro, and Joe Sandberg has already pled guilty to the feds. Man, what the hell y'all think he gonna say when they ask him about Kawhi and this deal that happened with an illegal company, and they ask him about that weak weasel and the head the head bald head in charge over there, Steve Ballmer. Y'all still don't think these fools going to prison? Click, click.
That's a pretty good deal now that you spell it out like that.
It's the dream, like I said.
It's getting a little hot in here.
Yeah, you might want to undo that top button. Because just to translate this as if I am 5 years old.
Yes.
If aspiration stock declined,
Yes.
dropping this deal's value below $20 million,
Yes.
Kawhi Leonard was assured the legal right to sell his equity back for $20 million.
It's like investing in something with no downside, because if it doesn't work, you get your money back.
Boy, it's fraud like a motherfucker. I try to tell y'all this. Pablo and Kawhi gonna end up in prison. Boy, if they lock this nigga up, hold on. I gotta say this to y'all, man. If they lock Kawhi and Steve Ballhead up, bro, them niggas ain't never gonna hear anything about this shit on my. Hey, bro, listen. I swear to God, I'm gonna talk about that every single day. They not gonna hear the end if the feds come and lock these weak weasels up. They not gonna hear the end of this shit from me, bro. I'm stir frying them niggas every day. The feds come jam these niggas up. But they said the feds closed in. Let's keep going, y'all.
But if it does work, you get to reap the benefits.
Mr. Alhassan, you have just discovered what a put option fundamentally is. It is a way to mitigate downside risk. It is a way to ensure that no matter what, the worst case scenario is not going to be less than the price that you were told you would get.
Hardly the vote of confidence, though.
Look, I'm just saying, hypothetically, in this scenario, Mr. Uncle Dennis Robertson and Kawhi Leonard.
What you said? You said his what? You said between his contract, sponsorship under the table. Yeah, and the part is that this nigga was still getting all his guaranteed money from his contract, and this weak weasel was crying about the money under the table. When this nigga still getting $100 and something million easy on the books. This weak weasel, bruh, motherfucker going to prison, bruh. I'm telling y'all this. I'm gonna laugh my ass off, man. I hope they go scoop up Skinny Any Adam Silver. I hope they go get his ass too, because he need to go. He needs to go today. I'm sick of him. And I really mean that. I have no love for Adam Silver. He's a punk.
They're not rookies
Right.
when it comes to getting paid. They have questions. Is this a theoretical $20 million or is this a real $20 million? And according to the reporting that I've done, they wanted the real kind. And so the next document in your folder, Mr. Alhassan, explains how it is that Joe Sandberg was able to make this part of Kawhi's deal happen over the protests, by the way, of those fellow executives who saw what this was, and they were like, we can't fucking do this. These are the people who are dragging their feet in the process of talks with Mr. Uncle Dennis Robertson. And so Joe Sandberg said, you know what? I'm going to personally grant that guaranteed $20 million myself. And he did it through one of his 12 personal LLCs. And it was not AGO Partners, as previously reported. It was another one of them, in fact. An LLC which Joe Sandberg called what, Mr. Alhassan?
RJB Partners, LLC.
You are holding in your hands the Statement of Information as registered with California's Secretary of State from RJB Partners. And I knew to find this because Sandberg refers to RJB Partners in an email which he sent to his personal attorneys with other aspiration executives CC'd. And that is the next piece of paper in your folder. If you can please read what this document says.
For avoidance of doubt, any and all benefit to aspiration from the Kawhi deal is being subsidized by my contributing my equity to make this happen. In conjunction with my offering to do that, I also explained verbally to Andre that Kawhi's team wanted his legal fees paid. I'll state it here for you. I, via RJB, am transferring 20...
This greedy son of a bitch wanted his legal fees paid too. Bro, this is a greedy bastard, man. Hey, man, listen. I don't give a fuck what none of y'all say. Y'all niggas praise this nigga right here. Boy, this nigga going... It's a chance this nigga going to federal prison, bro. Your weak weasel lazy ass, you wanted them to pay your legal fees too after they was going to, man, bro, this nigga right here is a whole hoe.
$1 million in all caps of stock to Kawhi over 4 years to enable this partnership for aspiration. The benefits that you, Mike, that Andre, that Roger will get from this partnership are subsidized by my, in caps, $20 million.
They got this on letter, y'all. They have the letter, y'all, from Joe Sandberg saying that he was going to pay Kawhi the extra $20 million. Man, bro, this dude, I try to tell you niggas, man. And that this nigga wanted them to pay their legal fees too. This nigga's a whole hoe, bro. And shout out to the Toronto Raptors for ducking this smoke and not getting themselves in Fed trouble, fucking with this weak weasel.
Of stock. Regards, Joe.
And this reminds me, Mr. Alhassan, of another conversation I had with source number 1 back in part 1 of this series. It does seem very clear that the people inside of Aspiration loved to email each other.
Yeah, it's stupid idiots. Quite frankly. Yeah, let's put it in writing. Great idea.
To be fair, Mr. Torre, as it continuously gets a little hotter in here. Steve Ballmer, Dennis Wong, Lawrence Frank can all say, well, that has nothing to do with us.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that this could all be done independently, according to the foregoing theory that has been presented. And so this is where I just want to begin to pull on a thread here. A thread of something that Joe Sandberg, in that email that you just read, had mentioned. Because he mentioned, quote, a benefit to aspiration. And the, quote, benefits that Mike, that Andre, that Roger, the rest of the C-suite, in other words, will get from this partnership, which, again, he is personally subsidizing with his $20 million for Kawhi Leonard. And what 9 aspiration sources now tell me is that to aspiration, the benefit was not simply keeping Kawhi Leonard a Los Angeles Clipper because aspiration wanted this team that they were already sponsoring to do well. That actually was the benefit to Steve Ballmer and the Clippers, that their player would be very happy. The benefit to aspiration was actually rational in its logic, in its financial thinking. Because the benefit to aspiration, according to my reporting and these 9 sources, is what the company got from Steve Ballmer in exchange. The giant founding sponsorship deal, the signage all around the Clippers arena, the jersey patch on the bodies of the Clippers themselves, the sign on the back of the courtside seats. It was Steve Ballmer vouching for Joe and Andre, the co-founders, with other investors, helping to arrange meetings over email and in person as an...
Oh, man, this is big time fraud stuff, man. Bro, this is deep, y'all. I don't think y'all understand what he just said, bro. Bro, this is big time fraud type of activity, bro. He talking about recruiting and getting other people involved. Man, bro, I'm telling y'all right now, man, this is bad, bro. This is worse than what I thought. I didn't know that was a part of this too, bro. This is bad, man. I truly believe that the hammer's coming down on this situation, you guys. I know a lot of people don't agree with me. They don't think nothing's gonna happen, man. You guys, I would just disagree with y'all, and I would say that this is a very bad situation, man. If somebody asks me how long do I think Kawhi plays, it's over with, bro. I don't see him playing much longer. I just don't see it. I think he's gonna get ran out of the league. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if dudes get sent to prison. I mean, I personally think that the feds are probably on his ass right now. I personally believe that. I think that the feds are probably, you'll probably hear something from the feds on Kawhi, uh, very soon. But I think he's in a very bad situation, brother. And when I say very bad, I mean very bad. I think that the feds are really in the mix. I truly believe that. So when y'all ask me that, and y'all want to know what the real is, and y'all want me to tell y'all these truths, that's what I believe, man. I believe that I believe Kawhi's in. I believe that he is in big trouble. You know what I mean? So I truly believe that it's a chance he goes to prison for a long time. I believe that. I believe it's a chance he goes to prison for a very long time, man. And so he had better hope and pray that, you know what I'm saying, he in my opinion, he just better hope and pray, that that he can avoid that. But I think we're gonna see him in prison, bro. And I'm talking about Steve Ballmer too. I think both of them will probably end up behind bars surrounding this situation. It's sad, but I mean, like I said before, bro, this is federal stuff now. Listen to what he's saying now. He's gonna tell y'all right now. All this stuff we talking about now, this ain't just NBA basketball talk. This is federal talk, because remember, that dude Sandberg has already pled guilty to the feds. He's facing 35 something 40 years in prison, I believe. And so you don't think he gonna give up all the other information to get his time cut down? You think that old ass dude want to do the rest of his life in prison? Man, let's keep going.
Internal email sent by Mr. Sandberg in October 2021 to Charity and another aspiration executive confirms. As, by the way, our old friend David Sampson read for us in part 1 of this investigation. Balmer himself is enthusiastic to help and will personally be a reference and advocate where we ask him. So please keep that front of mind. And then me?
That puts him in on the scam. That's sad, man. I hope it's not true. But they got paperwork, yo. They got paperwork, man. This is sad. Now, we're going to talk about the feds right now.
If you will, there's an email on November 1st, 2021 from Steve Ballmer, personally connecting the CEO of Intuit with Andre and Joe.
Since Intuit and Aspiration already have a business relationship, and all of us share a passion for the Clips and our Intuit Dome project.
Yo, let me say this to y'all. Somebody's a big ass snitch on the inside. I promise y'all the feds gonna come jamming all these dudes up. Somebody, I'm gonna tell y'all why I'm saying this. Somebody gave Pablo all this. There is no way Pablo got all this information unless he got somebody on the inside who had access to these emails and shit they want Kawhi and they want Steve Ballmer out of here, bro. They want them out of here, bro. There's no way he getting access to all these files and emails and private paperwork unless somebody on the inside who they've ticked off is exposing everything. Somebody on the inside is exposing this whole situation. And Pablo has an inside man that's feeding him all of this information that he's exposed to. Because normally this would never come out in the general public. This would all be in private in an investigation that you would have to say and hope that the NBA would do a transparent situation, which they would not show y'all all this. But because Pablo has done such great investigating, you're seeing all of this shit put out here in front of the world. Somebody on the inside wants these dudes out of here, bro. And they snitching. They giving up the whole thing. They giving up the whole thing, man.
I thought it might be fun for the four of us to take in a game together sometime soon. Pablo, it strikes me that if the names Sandberg and Charity were different, if Aspiration had a different name, we would call this sports washing.
Crazy work, bro. And I agree with what he's talking about. Crazy work, though, man. It's bro, this shit is crazy, man. It is crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? They going to prison, bro. I'm telling y'all, man. Y'all niggas think it's a game. I can't wait till the feds pull up.
We might, Mr. Alhassan. We might detect that they would want to use the imprimatur, the cosign, the representation of a very respected rich motherfucker. And that would help them make their business real. The part I want to get to next is the part where he said something that you kind of, I think, raised an eyebrow at as you were reading it. Because this part was, quote, I also explained verbally to Andre that Kawhi's team wanted his legal fees paid, end quote. We've been focusing a lot on Mr. Uncle Dennis Robertson in our investigation so far. Of course, he was the designated representative on the $28 million no-show endorsement deal that I obtained a copy of. He's also the guy whom my original source in the finance department, source number one, had told me.
He got Dennis Robinson's name on paperwork. Man, them niggas is toast. He just showed Dennis Robinson, Uncle Dennis's name on paperwork. Them niggas toast, bro. And now they got Kawhi's agent. His agent is done forever, bro. Whoever Kawhi's agent is, bro, he's done. This motherfucker caught up in a scheme like this, bro. Bro, that's career suicide, bro. And not only that, he could be putting this thing to where the feds can come jam him up, man. Bro, a lot of these dudes might end up going to prison. Bro. I'm talking about Fed time, nigga. I ain't talking about state. I ain't talking about no penny ante bullshit. I'm talking about Fed time, nigga.
Had been calling Aspiration when they were late on those quarterly $1.75 million payments to Mr. Leonard. But Mr. Uncle Dennis Robertson, for those who are not familiar with the saga, he was also the protagonist, right, of the 2019 investigation by the NBA into the prior cap circumvention claims levied against Steve Ballmer's Clippers. Because even though the NBA did not find evidence of cap circumvention back then, what did the NBA do, Mr. Alhassan?
They instituted what might affectionately be called the Mr. Uncle Dennis Robertson rule, which is only certified personnel may negotiate on behalf of a player for compensation, a.k.a. an actual agent, not a family member, not an uncle.
Yes, and there were, in fact, increased funds.
Mr. Miyagi says no accountability for Ballmer. Ballmer's on the screen right now, sir. What is you talking about? Steve Ballhead, we've been talking about him the whole time. What the hell is you talking about? Do you have any idea what you're talking about, sir? No accountability for Ballmer. Have you not been listening the whole time? Have you not been listening the whole time? We've been in here cooking bottle of roll-on hair deodorant the whole time. What the hell is you talking about, man? Something is wrong with you people. But it was Kawhi's team that been running around here trying to get every other team to do this shit. What is you talking about? Steve Ballhead was just the dumbest to do it. You just pulled up. So what? So don't just pull up talking shit if you don't know what you're talking about, dog. Don't pull up talking shit if you don't know what you're talking about. Just sit your ass down somewhere and shut the fuck up, bro. If you don't have no idea what the hell you talking about. You sit up here talking about no accountability for Steve Ballmer, and he's on the screen, nigga. You said you're responding to the baiting thumbnail. He's in the thumbnail, asshole, like. The hell is wrong with you, nigga? He's on the thumbnail. Who the hell you think that bald-headed dude is on the right-hand side of your screen right now? But you gonna talk about no accountability for Steve Ballhead. We've been talking about him the whole time.
The penalties for teams that dared to not do that. And the question then is, who is the certified agent representing Kawhi Leonard this whole time?
It's a gentleman by the name of Mitch Frankel.
Mr. Mitch Frankel, not Mr. Uncle Dennis Robertson, used to be an NFL agent, actually, before trying to build this whole agency around Kawhi Leonard, his biggest client by far.
Yeah, it's over with, bro. Bro, this shit is over with, bro. That agent, he's done, bro. They're gonna, matter of fact, they should strip that agent's license. You said thumbnail only. Bro, do you know thumbnail's a picture? You said thumbnail only mentions Kawhi Leonard. That's not a thumbnail, you idiot. That's a title, you dumb son of a bitch. That's a title. Title. A thumbnail is a picture, you asshole. Learn the definition of thumbnail and title. Use the damn fool, boy.
Frankel came to represent Kawhi during that time when Kawhi was with the San Antonio Spurs, of course. And in fact, we found a photo of...
This is not clickbait, sir. You dumb son of a bitch. This was stupid-ass Kawhi Leonard and his dumb-ass team running around here trying to get all these NBA teams to break the rules, you asshole. Ballhead was the dumbest one to do it. But it was Kawhi Leonard's team and Kawhi Leonard that was running around here doing that cap. A title is not a part of a thumbnail, you idiot. A thumbnail is a picture, you dumb son of a bitch. Shut your stupid ass up, you cokehead bastard. And tell your mama I said, hey.
Mitch Frankel standing right next to Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi has his arm, his left arm around him. This is after they won the 2014 title. And what is Mr. Mitch Frankel holding in this photograph, Mr. Alhassan?
I believe that is what is now known as the Bill Russell Finals MVP trophy.
That's correct. Mr. Leonard is holding the Larry O'Brien. Mr. Frankel is holding the Finals MVP trophy. And so, in this way, I would like to lead you to the next piece of paper.
Yeah, he don't come in here capping talking about this nigga don't know the difference between a thumbnail and a title. A thumbnail is not a title. A thumbnail is a picture, you idiot. A title is words. What the hell is wrong with these people? And then he gonna come in talking about no accountability for the owner. Nigga, that's all we've been talking about the whole time. Is the weak weasel ass owner. Him and Kawhi, they both getting this stir-fried, nigga. Niggas is hoes on YouTube, nigga. Straight up, nigga.
The second name listed under the legal notices section of that $28 million no-show endorsement deal after Mr. Uncle Dennis Robertson, in section 4.1A, as you take off your jacket.
Hot.
I know, it's getting real sweaty in here. What is that name there?
These legal notices were sent with a mandatory copy to Mitchell Frankel of Boca Raton, Florida.
Which means that any legal notice that Mr. Uncle Dennis Robertson received at his South Florida address, Mr. Mitchell Frankel, Kawhi's actual agent, would also receive at his South Florida address. Which takes us now to the next sheet of paper in your folder, because this happens to be a series of text messages sent from Mr. Mitch Frankel to Mike Shuckero, the aforementioned general counsel of Aspiration, who provided these to me on the record after I requested any and all documentation of any communications that Mr. Shuckero had with Kawhi's agent that were not protected by attorney-client privilege. And so, just to set the scene, this is all about Kawhi Leonard's second ever payment of $1.75 million that was due from Aspiration at the end of September 2022. But of course, September 22 came and went. October 22 came and went. And that takes us to when this text message was sent. Please play the role of Mr. Frankel. I will be the general counsel of Aspiration, and you can timestamp us as we go.
November 2nd, 2022, 8:44 a.m. Mike, good morning. Can you tell me the status of the payment from Aspiration to KL2? Thank you. Mitch Frankel.
10:22 a.m. I have a call into our finance.
It's over with. They got Kawhi's agent on text, y'all. It's a wrap. It's over with, y'all. The nigga going to prison, bro. These niggas going to prison, man. And y'all niggas get mad at me. They got Kawhi Leonard's agent. Agent. That's career suicide right there, bro. That is career suicide, bro. You got this man agent on text message, bro. This is career suicide, bro. Somebody is snitched and gave all this information to the feds. There ain't no way Pablo got all this information and the feds ain't got it, bro. I'm just letting y'all know this right now, bro. Them niggas going to prison, bro. All in a line. It's a whole line of them niggas going to prison. Straight up, bro. A whole line of them going to prison. Them niggas got their name on documents, bro. You cannot be this stupid, bro. You can't be this stupid. But they could not do it without the documents, because without the documents, then they could renege on the payments because there is no documents. But once again, the company got exposed as being a scam, and now y'all see everything that comes with it. It's over with for these dudes, man. Matter of fact, let me put this on the screen to y'all. They got Kawhi Leonard's agent, Mitch Frankel. I told y'all this. They got him on paperwork, bro. It's a wrap, bro. They got him on text messages. It's over with. I'm going to show y'all the text message right now. It's a wrap, man. Shout out to Pablo for doing great investigative journalism, man. And they got snitches on the inside. It's over with, bro. Now, what is Adams? How is Adams? Adam Silver needs to step down today. It's over with, bro. It's over with. Adam Silver needs to step down today. He needs to step down today. Period. As the commissioner of the National Basketball Association, he is unable to do his job, nigga. It's over with. He's unable to do his job. It's a wrap. We don't want to hear no excuses, man. No excuses, man. And y'all see this right here. It's in front of y'all face. No excuses, y'all. It's over with, bro. That's Kawhi Leonard's agent right there. Send them texts. Niggas going to prison, bro.
The status of the payment from Aspiration to KL2. Thank you, Mitch Frankel.
10:22 a.m. I have a call into our finance team. They are West Coast, so still early. I'll be back.
Thank you. November 3rd, 2022 at 1:09 p.m. Any update? Thank you.
Yes, I'll send via email. Sorry, morning got away from me.
November 3rd, 2022 at 5:30 p.m. I never received an email. My address is at gmail.com. Thanks.
All lowercase. Sending now, period.
November 3rd, 2022 at 6:43 p.m. Thank you.
All of which is to say, Mr. Alhassan, that this scheme, as it has been reported and alleged, was not merely Mr. Uncle Dennis Robertson going rogue. This was something that Kawhi's camp, his actual licensed, registered, certified agent. Guaranteed.
It's over with, y'all. Niggas going to prison, bro. And first of all the niggas should be banned from the NBA. Kawhi's agent should never be able to work in the NBA ever again if they all found guilty. They should never be able to work in the NBA ever again. I mean, bro, to me, Uncle Dennis, he should be barred for life. Kawhi's agent, Mitch Frankel, barred for life. I told y'all, Adam Silver needs to step down. And I also believe that Michael Jordan needs to take over. I'm more convinced now more than ever Michael Jordan should take over as commissioner of the National Basketball Association. Adam Silver has ruined the league, bro. Y'all didn't want to listen to me when I told y'all this shit, man. Adam Silver has ruined the league, bro. This is the biggest scandal in sports history, dealing with a weak-kneed nigga who ain't even like that.
Reported and alleged was not merely Mr. Uncle Dennis Robertson going rogue. This was something that Kawhi's camp, his actual licensed, registered, certified agent, alongside Aspiration, clearly considered pretty important. And I should just say here that we did reach out to Mitch Frankel and his office, again, with a detailed list of questions and interview requests, to which he did not respond. For the record, Mike Schuckaroo, the general counsel for Aspiration, has told me that he would make those texts available to the NBA, to the Clippers, to Wachtell Lipton, the law firm that the NBA hired this month to investigate this alleged salary cap circumvention scheme. All of that is available to them, I am told. But yeah, man.
It's not a bug, it's a feature.
It seems like this was a thing that everybody knew needed to be paid, and as of November 22, wasn't. This wasn't an alley in which Mr. Uncle Dennis Robertson was standing with a trench coat. This was a whole plan.
A whole plan. And they got the nigga agent. That nigga agent should be banned for life. Uncle Dennis, banned for life. Kawhi Leonard, banned for life. Steve Ballmer, banned for life. Get these scumbags. And y'all niggas always want to talk about somebody cheating. Y'all always talk about, hey man, LeBron James cheating, LeBron James. Bro, this is outright cheating. This is the biggest scandal in NBA history, bro. In the history, sports history. This is the biggest scandal in sports history. And it's got to deal with a weak knee nigga who probably don't even got a weak knee.
This was the lobby of Kawhi Leonard, Inc., in essence.
And the question then is, inside the Clippers building, what did they think about this arrangement? And this past week, I will say, I checked in with a former Clippers official. And they said they really do like Steve Ballmer personally, still, by the way. But this is the quote they gave me. The world in Clipperland revolves around Kawhi Leonard.
Yep.
And the moon is Dennis Robertson. There is no way the Clippers did not know about this deal, end quote. And they pointed straight to Steve Ballmer and the president of basketball operations.
And I'm starting to think they snaked Paul George too. I'm starting to think that they snaked Paul George. What do I mean snake Paul George? I'm starting to think they let Paul George be the fall guy. Because when PG was sitting up there crying on this podcast, like, yo, just give me the same money y'all gave Kawhi, take a pay cut. They just still want to pay him. I think they made Paul George the fall guy, man. Because if Kawhi Leonard says, nah, keep PG, we're going to keep moving. PG's still there, bro. PG, man, I think I figured it out, dog. I think they snaked you, bro. I think they tried to put the meal on you, and they snaked you, bro. Same way they snaked Russell Westbrook when they got James Harden. I think they snaked you, bro. That's just how I feel. I'm starting to get those vibes, man. They snaked Paul George, y'all. It's crazy work, man. Crazy work.
Lawrence Frank, the innermost circle, who handled the most sensitive issues around one of the most delicate superstars that anyone has managed in professional sports.
I'll tell you a story. I believe the statute of limitations has run out, so none of the people here can be punished for this. But when I was working for the Phoenix Suns, in the lead up to the 2007 offseason, we had a whiteboard where we would write our projected starting lineups and all these different permutations. If you remember the time we were in talks to acquire Kevin Garnett. We're trying to acquire Kevin Garnett. So there was a version where Kevin Garnett was our starting center. It's a version where Mar Stoudemire is our starting center. All these different lineups, different permutations. What if we get this guy? What if we swing and trade for that guy? Maybe our first round pick here will be that slot. But in every permutation, the starting small forward was Grant Hill.
Grant Hill. Starting small forward was Grant Hill.
And I remember asking, how can we be sure that he's going to sign with us? He was going to be a free agent that summer, but how do we know he's going to sign with us? And everybody laughed. And July 2007 came around, and we signed Grant Hill. I don't know. At that time, I was very, very, very low on the totem pole. I believe I might have been a basketball operations assistant. But I say it to say that there are what sometimes can be classified as open secrets, meaning we all know, you may not know all the details, but you know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, that's a much smaller scale than what we're talking about here. But it would not surprise me that, of course, the president of basketball operations is involved. He's the architect building the team. If we're committing to something of that nature, of that large of a commitment, then obviously he's included. But the other person I would assume would be included in that conversation very, very intimately would be the head coach of the team.
And this is where I should probably point out.
Tyronn Lue. And he's been the one, Ty Pooh, that been ducking all this smoke too. Ty Pooh ain't been getting no smoke either. He been ducking all kind of smoke in this situation. Did he know? And I don't want to hear about Ty Lue didn't know nothing. Man, Ty Lue sit up there. He know this weak weasel.
Up that Ty Lue, the head coach of the Clippers at the time and today, will be speaking at Media Day. And I would be curious if anybody wants to ask him the question you have suggested logically might deserve asking. But now I want to just swing the camera back because the finance team came up in that conversation between the general counsel of Aspiration and Mitch Frankel, the agent of Kawhi Leonard. And so this is where I think it's really worth pointing out that there's another benefit that Joe Sandberg didn't necessarily spell out directly to his C-suite at the inception of the Kawhi Leonard arrangement. Because this benefit, again, I would argue, is simple. If Steve Ballmer wanted Kawhi Leonard to get paid on the side, and if Steve Ballmer wanted that payment to be completely secret at risk of NBA punishment, he needed Aspiration to have enough money to pay Kawhi Leonard, which would then logically explain why Steve Ballmer kept putting in money into this collapsing company. But the windfall, undeniably, seems to me an enormous benefit to Aspiration. In fact, the biggest benefit that Joe Sandberg might have been alluding to is that you have a source of not merely credibility, but a whole lot of money that you could tap into when needed.
Straight cash, homie. That's what we call that. But Pablo, when did the Clippers stop giving them money?
So the timeline here, right? Kawhi wasn't getting paid in September, right. October, November of 2022. That's where we are now in the timeline.
Right.
And the reason I think it's possible that Steve Ballmer and the Clippers stopped putting money in at that period was because perhaps they were learning what was happening. They might have detected the fact pattern we are reverse engineering now. I mean, as the Clippers themselves admitted to us, quote, "We made payments to Aspiration until the company was unable to fulfill their responsibilities," end quote. Which would then explain why both Uncle Dennis and Mitch Frankel would be calling and texting about Kawhi's money. But on December 6th, 2022, to remind everybody, what happens? Who finally comes through to save Aspiration? Because it wasn't Uncle Dennis.
It was Mr. Grandpa Dennis Wong.
The person who saved the day was Dennis Wong, according to multiple sources and bank statements and cash forecasts that we reviewed. Steve Ballmer's college roommate, the only minority owner of the Clippers he trusted to own a piece of the team, who on December 6th, 2022, invested $1.99 million, having never invested in Aspiration before. Dude signs off on a purchase agreement that tells him that the company is in default, that its independent auditor had resigned, that the SEC and FINRA are probing the company, that they're facing seven-figure litigation, and Mr. Dennis Wong, a different Dennis, who did not respond to our request for comment, invests anyway. And 9 days later, on December 15th, while the company cannot make payroll.
This is how greedy Kawhi is. They had an SEC investigation, Fed investigation, and all this shit. The company was going on, and he still wanted them payments. You got to be the dumbest SOBs in history of mankind.
On the same day, Aspiration lays off 20% of their staff. Kawhi Leonard gets paid $1.75 million.
Grandpa Dennis said, "Never tell me the odds." He turned into Han Solo right there.
He put in just enough money at a time and in a quantity that was inexplicable to anyone who's ever reviewed the fact pattern we've established. I await also the appropriate spin on that.
Let me go off script here a little bit. Mr. Torre, let's assume right now you and I have an interdimensional portal that takes us straight to Clippers Media Day. We're credentialed. The mic has been passed around. Kawhi Leonard is on the podium.
Miles, I said it's fine.
Now, Kawhi Leonard's on the podium in what? Kawhi Leonard's on the podium in what?
Kawhi, why didn't you do anything to promote Aspiration despite signing a $28 million endorsement contract with Aspiration?
They didn't ask me to do anything.
Did you ever exercise a put option that would have guaranteed the $20 million in equity that you were granted by Aspiration co-founder Joe Sandberg?
I don't know what that is.
Did you know that your agent and uncle were pressuring Aspiration to make its overdue sponsorship payments to you?
I'm not familiar. I just go out and play basketball for the Clippers.
Were you aware that the owners of the Clippers were investing in that same company while you were awaiting payment from that same company?
Again, I have no idea what happens. I just go out there and I play basketball.
Have you seen the video of the last time that your boss, Steve Ballmer, spoke at Media Day? Because it was 2021, and he sat on stage right next to the guy who co-founded the company that was paying you $1.75 million late.
Well, I'm usually pretty busy on Media Day. I don't get to see what everyone else is doing.
Well, check this out.
The pièce de résistance, as we went through this, is when we had a chance to really sit down and meet the folks from Aspiration. I'm pretty keen on all of the projects, and we're keen to have these guys as a marketing partner. I don't think there's much conflict between what we're doing on the basketball side in the short term and what we're trying to do with Intuit. In parallel, and there's no financial tie. We're going to invest in our team, whatever we need to put ourselves in a position to win. And we try to get guys signed up to longer term deals, which I think we did well this offseason, Lawrence Frank and his team. But at the same time, so we're going to invest to win, and we're going to invest in the building. Okay, what does that really mean? I don't know.
Oh, that Aspiration!
I think at this point in the story, the thing we got to do is really get into Steve Ballmer's relationship with the guy sitting next to him on that stage, Joe Sandberg.
Yep.
So with that, let me turn things over to Joe Sandberg.
And the feds got involved, y'all. The feds got involved. And Joe Sandberg, I already told y'all this. Joe Sandberg, y'all, he is out of here, bro. Joe Sandberg is out of here, bro. Because he's already pled guilty to the feds. So now the feds asked him about Steve Ballhead and what he knows about Steve Ballmer. And this is going to be the devastating part, is when they start asking Sandberg about Steve Ballmer, Kawhi, and that deal through that illegal company.
If you listen to the two public interviews that Steve Ballmer has given since we broke this story, this was with ESPN and then with Sports Business Journal, he, in fact, is a victim.
Yeah.
This is not a fun thing to be through. I was personally defrauded. Remember, they defrauded me. They defrauded many other investors. These were guys who committed fraud. How would I be able? Look, they conned me.
You're one of the richest men in America.
They conned me. I made an investment in these guys thinking it was on the up and up, and they conned me.
Steve Ballmer has been trying to say very clearly that he is a victim of Aspiration co-founder Joe Sandberg, who has now pled guilty to wire fraud, that he is a victim as well of Sandberg's alleged co-conspirator, Aspiration board member Ibrahim Al-Husseini, who got arrested in October 2024 and has since pleaded guilty to wire fraud, acknowledging the falsification of financial documents at Joe Sandberg's direction. On Media Day, I suspect you are also, again, going to hear a party line about victimization and fraud and being conned quite a bit.
Going on there. There are a lot of layers to all of this, and the Clippers and Steve Ballmer, they have denied vehemently any wrongdoing in all of this.
I know Steve Ballmer, and I think he's a great guy, and he says he didn't do that. I believe.
I give him props for acknowledging that, for owning up to that, for saying that he got duped and what have you. And I do believe it warrants an investigation because of Pablo Torre finds out podcasts and stuff.
How could you invest $50 million? The answer is he invested $50 million because it's nothing to him. And he kind of liked it. And you might say, well, how could you not do your due diligence? Because it's literally nothing to him. It's like, did you do your due diligence on the Mexican restaurant where you had dinner tonight?
Did you read the Yelp reviews?
And that sentiment, to be maximally clear, has been echoed very explicitly, in the statements provided to us as a show by the Clippers.
Quote, neither Mr. Balmer nor the Clippers circumvented the salary cap or engaged in any misconduct related to Aspiration. Any contrary assertion is provably false. The team ended its relationship with Aspiration years ago, during the 2022-23 season, when Aspiration defaulted on its obligations. Neither the Clippers nor Mr. Balmer was aware of any improper activity by Aspiration or its co-founder until after the government instituted its investigation. The team and Mr. Balmer stand ready to assist law enforcement in any way they can.
Law enforcement. So they think that will assist law enforcement. No, you won't. You gonna get jammed up by law enforcement. And once again, y'all, why haven't they sued Pablo? You have to that question has to be answered. Why haven't they sued Pablo?
So the question then becomes, when did the government start its investigation? That's an important time peg here, given what the Clippers are saying to us. And the crucial question I've been following this whole time, therefore, is when does it become implausible for a billionaire defrauded by Joe Sandberg in the way that we have heard to continue to give money to Joe Sandberg? And we pointed already to Dennis Wong, Ballmer's most intimate Clippers proxy, putting in $1.99 million in December 22 while the company was in default and so forth and so on, which to me, frankly, is enough. That feels like the de facto smoking gun right there. The alternate governor of the Clippers becoming the only new investor in that round of fundraising at an amount that made zero sense otherwise. But then you add in what we reported the last episode, which is that in March of 23, after Joe Sandberg sought investment from at least 19 other investment firms for that round, and this spanned the fall of 22 to the spring of 23, all 19 of those investment firms, which are listed in court documents that I obtained, said no. And yet, Steve Ballmer personally decided to invest another $10 million into this completely f***ed company at $23 a share, days after a Forbes article came out titled, "A Floundering FinTech's Risky Reboot." And you may be thinking to yourself, well, maybe Steve Ballmer doesn't care about Forbes. Well, please flip over the next piece of paper, because this is an article in Forbes from later that same month. Please show it to the camera.
Yes,
if you can.
I can't even read this. I know there's an audio audience.
What is it? What do you see?
It is the cover of Forbes, an extreme close-up of Steve Ballmer's smiling face. It's a pleasant, slight smile.
Yeah.
It says LA Clippers owner Steve Ballmer. The title, "Welcome to the Balmer Dome." His new $2 billion arena raises the game in the NBA. And then the article, the cover story itself.
This is the daily cover, online only for the record, but nonetheless, big Forbes over his forehead.
For Steve Ballmer, building an NBA champion is harder than running Microsoft, but more fun.
Maybe whatever. What if he's only just scrolling through Twitter? Maybe he's not even seeing that stuff.
Sure.
The next piece of paper.
Sure.
Could you read the tweet that Forbes sent to promote the article? Just so we have it in the public record.
This is from @Forbes with the gold check mark. Former Microsoft CEO Steve Ballmer has been trying to spend his way to an NBA championship from the start. The problem, of course, is that if money could buy championships, the fingers of both Ballmer's hands would be weighted down with rings. March 26, 2023.
Yeah. So, again, in the master timeline here, weeks after those articles and Ballmer's $10 million investment, I am told, the federal government began its process of interviewing dozens of Aspiration employees, two of whom are the sources you've been hearing on tape throughout our series here. The federal investigation at this point...
They're going to get jammed up, man. The snitches who told Pablo are the ones who talk to the feds. It's not going to be too long before they come with charges against these other guys, bro. I try to tell y'all this, man. Kawhi Leonard may end up in prison, bro. I try to tell y'all, man. Y'all don't want the same thing with Steve Ballhead, bro. All them dudes. Him, Wong, bro, they all, Kawhi's agent, bro, this shit is, Uncle Dennis, bro, this is bad, bro. This is, the feds are probably building a big case behind the scenes.
Was underway. And by January of 24, as your tie is now off your neck.
This is a lot of stuff, man.
We're not done. January 24, Bloomberg publishes this headline with a giant photo of the Intuit Dome across the top.
Clippers arena deal dragged into U.S. probe of California fintech.
And Bloomberg, by the way, also in that article, got a statement from the Clippers.
This is dated January 18, 2024. The Clippers said in a statement that, quote, the sponsorship agreement entered into between Aspiration and the LA Clippers was terminated by the team last season. This in no way relieves Aspiration from the obligations they are under contract to provide.
So I will just remind everybody here that the Clippers, having terminated their sponsorship agreement with Aspiration during the 22-23 season, is very interesting phrasing. Now, when you remember that Steve Ballmer invested another $10 million to the benefit of Aspiration in March 23, there happened to be 14 regular season games left in the season, meaning he did the opposite. He went back in. And by the way, so did Bloomberg, because the coverage proceeds. There was another Bloomberg article in July of 24.
July 10th, 2024. DiCaprio-backed green finance startup unraveled on dubious deals. 3 years after pursuing a $2 billion IPO, Aspiration Partners faces probes by U.S. authorities.
Look, you get the gist, which is that by early 2024, it was beyond obvious, using even just the Clippers' own statements, that the government was all over this. And Mr. Ballmer, of course, had become aware of improper activity by Aspiration or its co-founder, Joe Sandberg, at least by then. And all of this reminded me of a particularly thoughtful interview that I once saw Steve Ballmer do with 60 Minutes.
It's over with, bro. Yeah, it's over with, man. These idiots going to prison, bro. I think because they got the snitches talking to the feds. Yeah, I think the feds just building the case, man. And then Steve Ballmer talking about he gonna work with the cops. How you gonna work with the police? They working on you. You talking about you gonna work with the police?
In October 2024, had profiled him well after the government had started its investigation into Aspiration.
He bought the basketball team, which is certainly an extravagance, but he's also giving away billions through a philanthropy he runs with his wife, Connie. And it really is kind of grant by grant. You can't look back and say, well, people's economic mobility this year was a 2, and next year it's going to be a 2.3.
Yeah, now we can't do population level measurement, but place by place, grant by grant, we can do that.
So the Balmer Group is an entity that I want to introduce everybody to. The Balmer Group is Steve Ballmer's philanthropic arm, his organization that he runs with his wife, Connie, who was sitting right there next to him in that interview. And as you heard them say thoughtfully, they care about their donations. They go through them grant by grant, as they said. So what I did was go through their donations grant by grant. I went through their database. The Balmer Group has a website. And in the Our Grant section of the website, you just notice immediately there are donations ranging from $500,000 to $424 million. It's vast and impressive. But what caught my eye as I was scanning these dollar amounts was a $1.875 million grant. And it was made to an organization that is listed on the next piece of paper in your folder.
$1.875 million just seems a little, God. I've come full circle. Because on the first day, I was like, I can't wait to see what's underneath it. But now I don't even want to see this anymore.
What is the organization called, Mr. Alhassan?
Golden State Opportunity Foundation. Golden State Opportunity is dedicated to ending poverty by providing all Californians with the tools to build financial well-being. Our grant supports its outreach to more than 1 million low-income Angelinos, helping them to claim hundreds of millions of dollars from tax credits and improve their financial situations.
And so, what I went to go do was learn more about the Golden State Opportunity Foundation. But when I went to the Where We Started section of the Golden State Opportunity Foundation's website, this is what I saw.
Not found. Sorry, that page was not found.
Scam. Oh my
Which
God.
was weird.
Scam.
It's weird, right? And so
God.
what I did was I went to the trusty old Internet Archive. A journalist.
Bro, these motherfuckers going to prison, bro. They going to prison, bro. Oh my God, bro. They going to fucking prison, man. This shit is real, y'all. They going to prison, man. It's over with, bro. They going to prison, bro.
Best friend.
The Wayback Machine.
The Wayback Machine. And this, Amin, is what a cached version of the page used to read as recently as November 2024.
Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. Oh, Golden State Opportunity founder Joseph Sandberg grew up in circumstances familiar to many Californians. Raised by a single mom who struggled to make ends meet on her public school teacher salary, Joe's family lost.
By Joseph Sandberg, man. The same guy with aspirate. It's a fraud. And Steve Ballmer linked to this guy. It's over with, bro. Bro, this fool just exposed a mega scam. Pablo, you need to. I hope Pablo got great security. I hope he has great security, man. I hope he does, bro. And I love Pablo because I love how the investigation he's doing. I love the investigation he's doing. I think his investigation has been great. And I think that it's over with, bro. It's a wrap, bro. Another scam company with the same two guys? Bro, it's over with. We ain't even got nothing to talk about. It's officially over with. Steve Ballmer got busted. He got busted. Busted. Bro, this is embarrassing. It's bad, man. It is sincerely bad, you guys. Rap your mama. Hey, mucho gracias. Hey, man, it's bad, y'all. It's a wrap, man. You go ahead, hang it up, man. Another fraud company, bro. Did I tell y'all that these fools going to prison? And these cats didn't want to listen to me when I said this stuff. And I told y'all dudes are going to prison. And the whole NBA is going to end up suffering because of this. And that's why I told y'all Ballmer's going to lose the team. He's probably going to end up going to prison, in my opinion. He better be friends with Donald Trump. Same thing with Kawhi. It's a wrap, bro. They better be good friends with Donald Trump, bro. Because with the feds, that's the only way they get out of this situation. That's the only way. That's the only way they get out, y'all. Is cooperation, man. Cooperation, that's it. Not even cooperation, excuse me. They're going to have Donald Trump is going to have to come and pardon these dudes. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no way, bro. It's over with, bro. Pablo a beast. Pablo's a beast. Pablo did the whole investigation for the league. He did the whole investigation himself. And he found out more crimes, illegal Fed crimes. It's over with, bro. Yeah, man, he found out more illegal Fed crimes, bro. It's over with, man. Y'all go ahead and pack this shit up, man. He found out illegal Fed crimes, y'all. Yeah, it's over with, man. We go ahead, hang this shit on up, y'all. We can go ahead and hang it up, man. Lord have mercy, bro. They got these dudes dead to right. There's no way they can get around this. There's no way that the Clippers can get around this. This dude, Pablo, America's most wanted. Trust me. America's most wanted. Let me rewind that part again. This shit is crazy, bro.
$1.875 million just seems a little, God. I've come full circle. On the first day, I was like, oh, I can't wait to see what's under these papers. Now I don't even want to see this anymore.
What is the organization called, Mr. Alhassan?
Golden State Opportunity Foundation. Golden State Opportunity is dedicated to ending poverty by providing all Californians with the tools to build financial well-being. Our grant supports its outreach to more than 1 million low-income Angelinos, helping them to claim hundreds of millions of dollars from tax credits and improve their financial situations.
And so, what I went to go do was learn more about the Golden State Opportunity Foundation. But when I went to the Where We Started section of the Golden State Opportunity Foundation's website, this is what I saw.
Not found. Sorry, that page was not found.
Which was weird. It's weird, right? And so what I did was I went to the trusty old Internet Archive, a journalist's best friend.
The Wayback Machine.
The Wayback Machine. And this, Amin, is what a cached version of the page used to read as recently as November 2024.
Jesus Christ.
Unlock your stay for less with app exclusive.
It's over with, bro. It's over with, man. It's over with, bro. Bro, this shit is over with. The case has been solved. He went to the page, y'all. And the same guy who's in the aspiration that just pled guilty, Joseph Sandberg, was the same guy with this scam, bro. It's over with, man. Play this again.
Well-being. Our grant supports its outreach to more than 1 million low-income Angelinos, helping them to claim hundreds of millions of dollars from tax credits and improve their financial situations.
And so, what I went to go do was learn more about the Golden State Opportunity Foundation. But when I went to the Where We Started section of the Golden State Opportunity Foundation's website, this is what I saw.
Not found. Sorry, that page was not found.
Which was weird. It's weird, right? And so what I did was I went to the trusty old Internet Archive, a journalist's best friend.
The Wayback Machine.
The Wayback Machine. And this, Amin, is what a cached version of the page used to read as recently as November 2024.
Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. Oh. Golden State Opportunity founder Joseph Sandberg grew up in circumstances familiar to many Californians. Raised by a single mom who struggled to make ends meet on her public school teacher salary, Joe's family lost their home to foreclosure after falling deeply into debt.
And it goes on. And it is a tremendous story.
In case anyone was wondering, maybe it's another Joseph Sandberg.
That's the picture on the page that was erased.
Folks, I had a whole thing. I was going to do a Southern lawyer accent.
I
was going to push back.
Now you've just dropped. We're just talking in our actual voices now.
Completely broken character.
None other than disgraced Aspiration co-founder Joe Sandberg is in fact the founder of the Golden State Opportunity Foundation. This is his charity. It's his baby. And it's a fact that is verified, by the way, by the organization's Form 990 IRS filings, which also list him as the longtime board chair. You can find references to Joe Sandberg's role in this organization all over his Wikipedia page, easily Googleable articles, interviews about his ambitions in democratic politics. And so the relevant question,
Democratic politics? Oh, yeah, they done. They ain't calling on Trump. Nope.
I suppose would be this. When did the Balmer Group decide to give yet another seven-figure infusion of cash to an entity founded by Joe Sandberg? The answer to that question, as you can establish here in this paperwork, is that the Balmer Group announced this grant as part of a larger roundup of grants in December of 2024.
Lord Jesus, man. Bro, they going to prison.
It's hot as hell. Is anyone else hot?
Bro, they going to prison.
December 20.
They're going to prison, bro. They're going to prison, man. This is it, man. Pablo busted it open, bro. Bro, Pablo busted this whole thing open, bro. We ain't even got to have no more conversation. Adam Silver needs to step down today, bro. This is it, man. Adam Silver needs to step down as the commissioner of the National Basketball Association today, bro. This is over. He has been asleep at the wheel or he's been complicit. Name one. It's over with. There's no more integrity in the National Basketball Association, bro. It's a wrap, man. It's a wrap. Pablo have exposed this entire scam fraud of a goddamn owner. And this is the reason why they're not suing his ass, because they're going to prison, bro. And it's over with. And you better believe the feds is picking this one up. And I told y'all this, and it won't be long for the feds come with that major indictment. And it's going to be sad to see Kawhi Leonard and them get caught up in this. But him, Uncle Dennis, the agent, the goddamn going, the Clippers owners, all these mofos is caught up in this shit, man. This is sad, bro. This is sad, bro. It's over with, man. Now I know y'all niggas gonna keep ignoring. Y'all listening, but y'all ain't saying nothing. You know why? Y'all ain't in the chat because y'all niggas ashamed that y'all praise this weak, fake, weak ass, weak weasel this whole time. And it's all this stuff has been a fraud. And Pablo don't care. He busted these dudes up. He got the same dude from Aspirin with another scam type of organization linked with Steve Ballmer. It's over with.
Was a month after the last recorded mention of Joe Sandberg on the charity's website, which we showed you. It was a couple of months after the arrest of Joe Sandberg's co-conspirator, Ibrahim al-Husseini, by the FBI. It was almost a year after Bloomberg publicly broke the story of the government's investigation into Aspiration. It was more than a year after the Clippers claimed to end their partnership with Aspiration, and dozens of Aspiration employees had been interviewed by the federal government.
He conned me! But you still giving this nigga's company money after that shit's over with. You're done, Steve Ballmer. Get your ass the fuck up out of here. We don't want to hear from you no more. In the National Basketball Association, all that little fake cheerleading you doing on the sideline and stuff like that, it's over with, dog. We go and pack y'all up. We got the agent on text messages. Y'all dudes is done. Y'all dudes is done. All y'all dudes is done, bro. It's over with, man.
In other words, well beyond the point when Steve Ballmer would have learned that he was humiliated and defrauded and victimized by Joe Sandberg, as he keeps on saying, Steve Ballmer's charity, the Balmer Group, appears to have donated around December 2020.
He conned me. They conned me, lying capping ass nigga. Now, I'm glad he dropped this on Media Day. Steve Ballmer is not going to be able to speak on this. His attorney's going to have to take over. His attorney is going to have to take over.
Well beyond the point when Steve Ballmer would have learned that he was humiliated and defrauded and victimized by Joe Sandberg, as he keeps on saying, Steve Ballmer's charity, the Balmer Group, appears to have donated around December 2024, according to the public records of his own internal database, $1.875 million to that same fraudster for the first time.
Golden State Opportunity, what is it? 10th anniversary. There it is. 10th anniversary. They've been around for a long time, Pablo. A long time. They've been doing good work, right? And
right.
And also the Balmer Group. You said they've given out $400 million. He doesn't know. It's like loose change in his couch cushions. We give it something called the Golden State Foundation. Golden State Opportunity. Sounds great.
It's true. It's true that $1.875 million was approximately, doing the math here, worth 0.0014% of Steve Ballmer's estimated net worth at the time. And so, in fairness, we put this in front of the Clippers and the Balmer Group and the Golden State Opportunity Foundation. I wanted to know what this $1.875 million was used for and why it was $1.875 million. And what I can tell you here is that right away, once we brought up the question of whether Steve Ballmer made charitable donations associated with Joe Sandberg, the chief communications officer of the Clippers acknowledged that the issues we raised, quote, are germane to the investigation by the NBA, and we will let them conduct their investigation, end quote. But then, once we asked that chief communications officer of the Clippers specifically about this 2024 donation that Balmer Group made to Golden State Opportunity, he took some time to send us a statement on behalf of Balmer Group Philanthropy, which felt conspicuous, in which the Clippers chief comms officer volunteered on behalf of Balmer Group Philanthropy that Balmer Group had actually sent 4 grants to Golden State Opportunity dating back to 2018, which Golden State Opportunity in turn acknowledged receiving. But when I then proceeded to line up all the dates provided to us here, I noticed something. I noticed that in an email, Golden State Opportunity President Amy Everett told us that Balmer Group's initial grant, which started on January 1st, 2018, was coordinated by her, quote, predecessor. But according to tax filings, Amy Everett was the first person Joe Sandberg ever gave that title to, other than himself. Everett also told us that Sandberg remained the chairman of his charities board up until March 4th, 2025, which happens to be the day after Joe Sandberg got arrested, following roughly 2 years of federal investigation. And so, when it comes to what is germane to the NBA investigation, the known connection between Joe Sandberg and Steve Ballmer now dates back to almost 4 years before their names ever appeared together through aspiration, all the way back to 2017, when discussions for Balmer Group's initial donation began. All of this, I think, deepens what the decision to make a new ongoing donation from Balmer Group starting in November 2024 to help with tax support for low-income workers that got granted amid that ongoing federal investigation into the chairman of this charity's board might actually mean. Look, maybe, this foundation has done and continues to do good work. But the timing of this donation is something that, just to me, would defy, what's that phrase again about explanation?
Cannot rationally be explained.
That's right. As source number one from the finance department at Aspiration also points out.
Am I taking crazy pills? It's just inconceivable to me to be both hoodwinked and bamboozled, but yet continuously giving money to Joe Sandberg. I don't know how to make that make sense in my mind.
Well, I want to anticipate the possibility that Steve Ballmer really believed in the mission of the Golden State Opportunity Foundation, Joe Sandberg's baby, the thing that he was the head of. And so maybe there is an art versus the artist sort of distinction he's drawing.
No, it does not make any iota of sense to...
It's over with, y'all. It's over with, man. Like I told y'all, the feds will be swooping in soon and picking all these guys up, in my opinion. I believe a lot more people are going to be going to prison behind this. And it's over with, man. And Pablo, man, you're great, bro. You did great journalism. You did a great job, bro. They're going to talk shit,
in
man.
2021, contribute nearly $100 million in carbon offset pre-purchases, reinvest in 2022 or 2023 round, claim all of that to be lost in 2023, and then come back for more in 2024, be a charitable donation. Maybe Steve Ballmer's a secret masochist.
That is honestly one of the most persuasive theories that anyone has offered at this point in the reporting. Yeah, Steve Ballmer's kink is being robbed.
Rob me blind, Daddy.
Mr. Alhassan, the table is strewn with papers. Your clothes have come off. You are as sweaty as I am now, as I contemplate exactly where this story goes next. What did you find out today?
I find out that in a different world, in a different timeline, you would be part of Scooby-Doo's mystery team. And Steve Ballmer would be wearing a mask, and we'd pull the mask off. And as he's bound and tied and sitting on the ground, he'd look up at you angrily, and he'd say, and I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for you, you meddling kids.
You meddling kids. It's over with, bro. It's a wrap, bro. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. This the guy y'all praise, though, Kawhi Leonard and the LA strippers. The biggest frauds. And they got him on paperwork. They got him on text messages. It's over with, man. Like, share, subscribe. Ticket TV live streams, man. Hey, I really appreciate you guys for supporting the channel, supporting the network. Like, share, and subscribe once again. There are links. Get the free membership on our website. That way you guys won't miss any of our news update stories or videos. They're all on the website, ticketvmedia.com. You go over there, you can go right to the members part and become a free member. That way you guys will get all the updates. Also, straight drought weight loss formula. Make sure y'all go tap in and copy some of that, as well as subscribing to our podcast show. Link will be pinned at the top of the chat down there below. And also, we just appreciate all y'all who support the channel. Cash App, PayPal.